A protest group looking to abolish the circulation of physical money, notes and coins, claims that 74% of Perth residents have not used physical money in the past 12 months. To investigate this claim, a data scientist surveys a random sample of Perth residents, with 70% claiming they had not used physical money in the past 12 months. Let P denote the proportion of Perth residents who have not used physical money in the past 12 months. Given that the width of the 95% confidence interval for P is 0.096, determine the 95% confidence interval for P. Okay, so the middle of our interval is going to be the 70%, so that's P is 0.7. The width of the interval is, where was it? 0.096, and therefore the E value is going to be 0.096 divided by 2, which is 0.048. And so we have 0.7 take away 0.048 and 0.7 plus 0.048, and that gives us 0.652 and 0.748. Determine the number of people surveyed. Once again, you could just use that E activity, but I'm just going to do it using the fact that E is our Z-score. I'm just going to use 1.96 as an abbreviation here. And that is the square root of the P hat times the 1 minus P hat divided by N. Just solve that on the class pad for N, and we get N is equal to 350.14. Now we don't round up in this situation, it's just going to be the closest one. So 350 people surveyed. All right. What does the data scientist confidence interval suggest about the protest group's claim? Well, their claim is within the 95% CI. So no evidence to reject claim at this level. Okay. The data scientist is interested in whether the proportion is similar to that in other Australian capital cities, and conducts surveys in Brisbane, Sydney and Hobart. The following information was recorded on the basis, recorded based on the survey results. We can see the table there. For each of the following pairs, identify which had the widest 95% confidence interval and justify your answer. So Brisbane and Sydney. So if we look, the sample proportions are the same. Sydney had more people in their study, and that's going to narrow the confidence interval because we always divide by N. So this one is going to be Brisbane, and that's because we have a smaller sample size with the same P. And then we've got Brisbane and Hobart. So if we compare those, we can see that we've got the same N, but the proportions are different. And the important thing here is this one is closer to 0.5. Remember, 0.5 gives us the widest possible confidence interval. So once again, this is going to be Brisbane, and we've got the same sample size, but P closer to 0.5.